everybody, a warm greeting from me, Prakriti Neupane. Today I am here to tell about human glandular system. The system of various glands is called glandular system. The system of endocrine and exocrine glands that function together in digestion of food, control of chemical changes and growth and development of human body is called glandular system. There are two kinds of glands in our human body. They are exocrine glands and endocrine glands. The glands that secrete enzymes and juices and pour this secretion in a duct or vessel to an organ are called exocrine glands. For example, sweat glands, tear glands, salivary glands, etc. Whereas the glands that secrete hormones and pour them directly into the bloodstream without passing them through the duct are called endocrine glands. For example, pituitary gland, pancreas, thyroid gland, etc. The system formed by a group of ductless glands that secrete hormones and release them directly into the bloodstream is called endocrine system. Hormones are the chemicals produced by the endocrine system that control, activate and inhibit the function of certain organs and a group of organs. Their site of production and the site of action are different. So hormones are known as chemical messengers. Functions of hormones. Hormones help in physical, mental and psychological growth of the body. They help to control the various chemicals such as glucose and cells like sperms. They control, inhibit and excite the function of certain organs. They help to maintain a balance between salt and water in the body. They carry out sexual development in men and women. Now let's talk about different endocrine glands present in our human body. Pituitary gland. Pituitary gland is a pea-shaped gland present at the base of the brain below hypothalamus. It is a round-shaped organ almost 1 centimeter in diameter and weighs 0.5 grams. Pituitary gland has 3 lobes. They are anterior lobe, posterior lobe and intermediate lobe. Mainly pituitary gland secretes 2 types of hormones. They are stimulating hormone and growth hormone. Growth hormone controls and coordinates the overall development and growth of muscles and bones. It also increases the rate of protein synthesis. Disorders due to hyperactivity and hyperactivity of growth hormone. Hypoactivity or deficiency. The hypoactivity of growth hormone causes dwarfism. The person suffering from dwarfism has short height and underdeveloped physical structures. Hyperactivity or excess. The hypersecretion of growth hormone causes gigantism. Gigantism is a condition in which portion is large and broad abnormally. Stimulating hormone. The pituitary gland secretes stimulating hormone like thyroid stimulating hormone, follicle stimulating hormone, etc. The stimulating hormone controls and coordinates all other glands. So pituitary gland is also known as master gland. Now let's talk about thyroid gland. The bile gland present on either side of the trachea in the neck is called thyroid gland. Thyroid gland is a butterfly-shaped gland present in the neck below Adam's apple. It is about 2 inches long. And the 2 lobes are joined by a thin layer of connective tissue called isthmus. Thyroid gland produces thyroxine T4, tryptothyroxine T3 and calcitonin hormone. The function of thyroxine hormone is to regulate cell metabolism and oxygen consumption. Thyroxine hormone is made up of 65% of iodine. So our diet should include iodine for the formation of this hormone. Similarly, the function of calcitonin is to regulate the level of calcium in the blood by decreasing it in the blood and depositing it in the bones. It works with the parathormone. Disorders due to hyperactivity and hyperactivity of thyroxine hormone. Hypoactivity. The hyposecretion of thyroxine hormone causes simple goiter. In goiter, the thyroid gland swells and it results in large mass in the neck. It also causes cretinism. It causes physical and mental retardation in children. People may suffer from myxedema. It causes fattiness, likewise low blood pressure, low body temperature, etc. Hypersecretion. The hypersecretion of thyroxine hormone causes exophthalmic goiter or Graves' disease. Its symptoms are inactiveness, higher metabolism, decrease in body weight, high heart rate, high body temperature, etc. Now let's talk about the parathyroid gland. The 4 lobes present on either side of the thyroid gland in the neck is called parathyroid gland. Parathyroid gland secrete a hormone called parathyroid hormone or parathormone. Its function is just opposite to calcitonin. It helps to regulate the level of calcium in the blood and bones by breaking down of bone cells and releasing the calcium in the blood. Thus the parathyroid hormone increases the level of calcium in the blood. Now let's talk about the disorders due to hypoactivity and hyperactivity of parathormone. Hypoactivity. The undersecretion of parathyroid hormone causes painful jerking of muscles of hands, feet, face, etc. This condition is called tetany. Hyperactivity. The hypersecretion of parathyroid hormone causes the high level of calcium in the blood that results in weak and soft bones. These bones are easily fractured and broken. Similarly, it can also lead to kidney stone due to the excess deposition of calcium in the kidney tubules and tumors. It also leads to tumors. Now let's talk about the adrenal gland. The 2 glands present on top of each kidney is called adrenal gland. They have 2 main parts. They are adrenal cortex and adrenal medulla. Adrenal cortex which occupies 80% and adrenal medulla which occupies 20%. Adrenal cortex produces aldosterone, cortisol and cortisol hormone. The cortisol is a secret hormone that also acts as a sex hormone. Similarly, the adrenal medulla. This part of adrenal gland produces emergency hormones called adrenaline and noradrenaline. They are called emergency hormones because they prepare the body for an emergency like anger, excitement, fight or flight. They control blood pressure, heartbeat, similarly digestion and secretion during an emergency. Now let's talk about the disorders due to hypoactivity and hyperactivity of adrenaline hormone. Hypoactivity. The undersecretion of adrenaline causes low blood pressure, low blood sugar, low blood glucose level, etc. Hyperactivity. The oversecretion of adrenaline hormone causes high blood pressure and even death. Now let's talk about pancreas. Pancreas is the largest gland in the human body, present behind the stomach attached to the duodenum. It is about 12 to 15 centimeter long. As it produces both enzymatic juice and hormones, it acts as both an endocrine gland and an exocrine gland. So pancreas is known as a mixed gland or heterocline gland. In its exocrine aspects, pancreas are composed of cells called acini which secrete enzymatic juice and fluid into a small intestine through a pancreatic duct. In its endocrine aspects, pancreas, a very little amount of its mass forms a little group of cells called islets of Langerhans which secrete hormone to regulate the level of glucose in the blood. In each islets of Langerhans, alpha cells secrete glucagon, similarly beta cells secrete insulin and delta cells secrete somatostatin or growth hormone inhibiting hormone. Glucagon helps to regulate, increase the level of glucose in the blood. It stimulates the liver to release glucose which is stored in it in the form of glycogen into bloodstream. Similarly, insulin helps to remove the glucose from the blood to cells. It helps to remove the glucose from the blood to the cells where it is needed for energy. So it also removes the excess glucose in the blood and convert it into the glycogen and which is stored in the liver. Similarly, somatostatin helps in the regulation of carbohydrate metabolism by inhibiting the secretion of glucagens. Now let's talk about the disorders due to hypoactivity and hyperactivity of insulin. Hypoactivity. The undersecretion of insulin causes diabetes mellitus, which is commonly known as diabetes. It is caused due to the high level of glucose in the blood or hyperglycemia. So it affects several organs like kidney, eye, brain, etc. Its symptoms are frequent urination, intense thought or even diabetic coma. Next one is hypersecretion of insulin hormone. So the oversecretion of insulin causes hypoglycemia or eventually insulin shock. Now let's talk about the gonads. Testes and ovaries are collectively called gonads. Gonads are reproductive glands. Testes are the two ball-like structure present in the scrotum of male. So the seminiferous tubules also passes the male sex hormones called androgens like testosterone. Testosterone helps in the formation of sperms and many secondary sexual characteristics in men like growth of penis and scrotum, beard, moustache, pubic hair, horse voice, etc. Ovaries are the two gonads present in the either of the lower abdomen near the fallopian tube in female. They produce eggs and other many female sex hormones like estrogen and progesterone. Estrogen helps in the maturation of eggs and also the development of secondary sexual characteristics like shrill voice, pubic hair, etc. Similarly, progesterone helps in the formation of placenta during an pregnancy and releases egg during the ovulation. Thank you.